Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to another episode of Knife Thursday, brought to you by St. Nick's Knives. Stick around. Okay guys, so I'm here with a review on the Esee 3S. You heard it correctly, the S for the serrated version. Now if you guys know anything about me, you know that I'm not a fan of serrations at all. I think for the most part they're nearly useless. And the only thing worse than a partially serrated blade is a fully serrated blade in my book. Now, I understand that some people have a use for them and they can perform certain cutting tasks slightly better than a plain edge. But for overall, I like a plain edge. I'll say that. So when I saw that St. Nick's had sent me this, now as a reminder, St. Nick's did send me this. And if I don't, I have the option to buy them from them at a discounted price or send them back. And I'll let you know what I do with this at the end. But these are not just, I don't just get knives to get knives. So anyway, so they sent me this and I saw that it was a serrated version. And I was like, oh, how am I gonna do this? Because I hate serrations. So I started using it, and as much as I haven't liked serrations in the past, this one isn't all that bad, and I'll show you why. If you look at these serrations, they're different than most others. This cutting edge is intact, and they just kind of scalloped into the cutting edge on these spots. So it's not like those really pointy ones where the edge is totally destroyed. You actually still have edge here, and they just kind of put little grind marks into the blade to give it like a bit of a scalloped feel. But there's still flat part of the plain edge there. So if you really wanted to, you buy this and you say, I really don't like these serrations. It's not going to take that much work to just file them out and just make this a plain edge, which is an option. I've seen it done before. Now, when I did that close-up, you can probably see some of the wear on this, on the finish here. All these are powder-coated. They have a few models that aren't, but Esee pretty much powder-coats all their stuff, and it's for rust, and I get it. I usually hate coatings as well. And this one, I'm still on the fence about. Let me get into the meat of the knife. As much as I was not, and I'll roll in clips of me cutting stuff and different carry positions as I'm talking. As much as I'm not like a huge fan of the serrations, and I'm not a fan of the coating, this knife is great. This knife is great. I really like this thing. The feel in the hand with the micarta scales and just the shape is really good. Now I wear a size extra large glove, and I get there's just, basically just the pommel, the little pointed part of the pommel for your lanyard is sticking out. And if I choke up with this forward finger choil, then you've got less than an inch probably sticking out. But it's just a really good size. The micarta is great. I have a thing for micarta. And this is really good stuff. This feels higher grade than most. When I was an aircraft mechanic, I was an A&P, I used micarta a lot on aircraft, and this feels the same way that stuff did. Hard and more dense and stronger than a lot of the stuff you get on different blades that I've seen. As with all Esees, almost all Esees, this is 1095. It's held up better than I expected as far as edge rolling and stuff. I did a little bit of batoning with this thing, and I broke through the wood and I hit a piece of metal underneath. Yeah, I know, real smart. And I didn't see any rolling from that. I didn't really see any blunting, and there was no chipping. So that did better than I thought it was going to do. For batoning, this thing is not amazing because it's quite thin, which I really like because it slices well. But it's still more than strong enough to do whatever. But it's not a batoning knife, it's shorter. You're only, kindling and little stuff like that. Sure, it's great for. Now, cutting performance, and I'll roll this in, but before I do, this is the feather stick that I made with this knife. Now I had to get a little creative with it, and I'll show you how I did that. And please excuse the trucks that insist on going by whenever. Oh, it's not a truck. I almost want to turn it around and show you guys, but it's a backhoe just going up my street with like 10 cars behind it. Anyway, back to the knife. This knife, in my mind, is exceptional, and I've handled quite a few fixed blades, and this thing, this is like perfect for an outdoors knife, and for an everyday carry knife. Now I'm going to show you some of the ways I carried this, but before I do, the sheath that it comes with has incredible retention. There is zero rattle. No matter what you do, you don't get rattle. The only rattle you get when you're grabbing it is maybe the clip if you pinch the clip. But there is great retention, but it's not so hard that you're like struggling to get it out. They got a nice little ramp there for your thumb, and it just pops right out. This clip comes with it, and they provide the screws. They also provide a piece of paracord with a little cinch button on there, so that you can scout carry this. And my preferred way has just been in the pocket with the clip facing out, and if you guys are on my Instagram, you'll see a picture of that. But for me, I EDC'd this knife for about a week now, and it's been great. I haven't missed my folders at all. Now I carried my Benchmade proper in my opposite pocket just in case I was somewhere that people might freak out if you pull this out, but for the most part, I've been carrying this, and I actually got compliments on it. I was at this guy's house helping him do some stuff to get the house ready to live in, and some of the other people that were there like, oh man, what is that? That's a really nice knife. And we ended up talking knives for a while. But this knife is great. The only thing is the serrations, man. But in everyday life, they don't matter near as much as they do when you take this into the woods. For doing feather sticks and fine carving, I really do like to use this portion of the blade. And it makes those fine carving tasks, you almost have to relearn how to do them. You do have to do them a different way. And like when I did the feather sticks a different way, it worked great. You can also do them, just kind of do it with the tip. It's a little less control, but it's still that plain edge that you're used to. But I really like doing them right up close. But when I stabbed the tip into the wood and I drew the wood across the blade, I was able to get actually very good feather sticks even with these. So the serrations on these are not nearly as atrocious as most, and with a little bit of ingenuity and learning, you can make them work. Anyway, final thoughts on this thing. I'm keeping this, even with the serrations, because everything else about this knife is really good. The coating, I don't care. If I really get ambitious, I'll strip that off. But the ergonomics are phenomenal. And it's made in America with the best warranty of any knife company. Bar none, Esee has the best warranty. You can snap this in half on purpose, and they don't ask questions. You'll get a new one. And it's a really well-made product. They do a good job on their heat treat. The ergonomics are great, and it's just a joy to carry. It comes with a good sheath with multiple options, and for me, that's a big deal being left-handed. I'm so happy that the sheath can be switched back and forth and left and right and everything else that you'd want. So anyway, St. Nick's doesn't know this yet, but I'm going to buy this knife because it's really good. And I knew I was going to buy it within 5 minutes of having it, because even with the serrations and the coating that I'm not a fan of, the rest of the knife is so flippin' good that I had to do it. So I will be purchasing this, and I can fully recommend this. And I've handled other Esee knives, but this Esee3 is just great for everyday carry and 99% of what you're going to handle outdoors. If you really want to be chopping and splitting, this isn't your knife. You know, get an axe or get some, you know, get the Esee hungless or jungless or whatever people want to call it. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this review and demonstration of the Esee3S. And don't forget to go check out stnicksknives.com for Esee and Tops and Benchmade, Spyderco, ZT, Kershaw. They have some Condors on there. They got a ton of stuff, so go check them out for all your knife needs. Always free shipping and best prices on the internet. Guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe. God bless you as always, and I'll catch you next time.